Is it Miraculous or Miraculous? I kind of heard both. You know what? I'm gonna say Miraculous this time. So, Miraculous Ladybug and Cat Noir. Or Miraculous Tales of Ladybug and Cat Noir, something like that. I just gotta call it Ladybug and Cat Noir. It's been a show that, from what I understand, has been running since 2015, has 2 seasons, and the first one has just been put up on Netflix, and I saw it there this Saturday. I've heard a lot of good things about it beforehand, and, well, it's impossible to make it sound good. Because it's so stupid and it's cliche in many regards. But it's so entertaining! It's like I can't remember the last time I just had so much just thorough fun from beginning to end watching any show. Like, I think there's like one episode I don't like, and that's pretty much it. Because even then I was like, I was entertained at least for a few moments. It's just, God. Oh, it's so good, but it's so stupid. I know it is, but I don't care. It's so much fun. But okay, what is it about? There's some form of ancient artifacts that gives you power. Yeah, I know, you're bored already. They're given to one girl and one boy. The guy is called Cat Noir because when he transforms, it's kind of like Power Rangers or Sailor Moon. He looks like a dude in a black cat suit and these silly ears. Yeah, it's not very cool. And she, Ladybug, gets a red jumpsuit and a domino mask, all with black spots on it. And their powers is that she kind of has this yo-yo that she does stuff like Spider-Man, sort of, like she swings around and she makes nets. Though, as far as I'm concerned, it's one of those pocket mirror things that women have in their purses on a string. When she transforms, she actually wears it around her waist like it is a purse or something. And he has the power to destroy one thing, like, once. And that's pretty much it. It's not super exciting or anything. But what makes it so funny is that the girl called Marinette is super duper in love with the one who's Cat Noir, that is Adrian. But they don't know that the other is the superhero. So she's in love with Adrian, but he barely even notices her that much. Because he's in love with Ladybug, and he has no idea it's Marinette. I mean, it's like, oh, it's so stupid, but it's so funny. Because it's just the way they animate Marinette whenever she, like, freaks out over Adrian, or when she goes completely crazy about him. And of course, her absolutely brilliant performance by none other than Christina V. If you saw my review, or if you could even call it that, of Tales of Berserk, then you know how much of a talent I consider. And yeah, she has not disproven that. She is so perfect for this role. She gives so much energy, and she actually sounds like a young girl in love, and she's just every scene where she's insecure, she just owns it so well. Least of all of how she portrays it, and how the animator just has a goddamn Christmas with her facial expressions and the background animations. Like, sometimes she fantasizes of how wrong things can go and how she can be rejected by Adrian. They choose like different art styles for her fantasies. And she rambles so fast, and it's just so funny. The animation isn't great, but it's not awful either. It reused a lot of shots, unfortunately, even if some of them are good, like transformation sequences. Fortunately, they are somewhat quick. And I remember thinking during one episode when there's a scene where she runs around on the roofs and she swings, and for a few shots, well, for a few moments, we go into POV. And I love that in movies, which is something I really liked about The Amazing Spider-Man. Because if you're gonna swing around New York City, you might as well make it feel like I'm there. Like, put me in Spider-Man's shoes. Show me what it's like swinging around. And that's what they did when she was jumping around on a few rooftops. They switched to POV. I was like, wow, I like this. And then they reused that shot for another episode. It's like, come on! You had something go with me. And sometimes it looks like the characters are green screened to a background. Isn't the whole thing computer animated? Why does it look so fake? It's like an illusion of illusion or something. And every time they show her house, there's the same Mercedes or something that passes by. It's like, come on! And yeah, as someone who saw every episode back to back, all 24 or something, yeah, it gets really tiring every single goddamn time they can transform. Sometimes they show it more than once per episode. It's like, no, stop! We already saw this. So, all in all, it's not great. And I can tell that there's some decent characters, especially in her class. Like, they all have their personalities and unique designs. But we don't see that much of them. I wish we could have got more. It's pretty much... Well, I'm not gonna give too much away, but every episode is centered around one person being turned evil. And, of course, most of them are from her class or her classmates' parents, because why not? There was one girl in her class, the moment I saw her, I was like, wow, she has such good design. Her name was Julika or something. I was like, wow, what a great design. And turns out she doesn't really have that much of a personality or backstory. I'm just like, oh, she's fine, but there wasn't too interesting. But I suppose they're setting up for the second season. I suppose they keep the focus where it should be. It should be on the superhero fun, not necessarily a character study. And for the most part, it does that pretty well. I mean, once again, the concept is really lame. It's just some guy turning people evil over and going to them. He gets foiled every time and goes, curses, I'll get you next time, Gadget. But like I said, it's just the way it's... Like the way it's told, or the animation, like the overall style of it. And of course the acting. It just makes it so much fun. Every single goddamn minute. I was never really bored watching the whole thing. I was just so engaged, strangely, the entire time. Despite that there's so many faults with the plot. There's so many facepalm worthy moments. It's like they made these characters out to be pretty smart, but they can't figure out that the other's Ladybug and Cat Noire, stuff like that. It's like, you know what? Fine. Superhero stuff. And keep in mind, this is just the first season I'm talking about. The second season, I think, had just been stated as the vague spring 2018. So we'll see when that comes out. I'll be on the lookout for it, most certainly. Call me a fan. I love the show so much. So I'm not sure if the next season is gonna be more structured, like it has more of a plot to it, because these episodes, like, they have a continuity, but you can watch either of them out of context. In different orders, what I meant. What I actually really liked is that the first episode, they just throw you into the action. No origin story, nothing. It just begins. And I was kind of thrown a little loop for first. I was like, wait a minute, what's going on? But you catch on pretty easily what it's about, because the story is relatively simple. You understand, oh wait, she has these earrings that when she says spots on, she turns into Ladybug. Okay. Oh, and that's the villain. Okay. Stuff like that. And I kind of understand why, because they do eventually show the origin story episode. And would you know it, it's actually not that interesting. Maybe there was a bit too much exposition for what the rest of the show's really worth. And the fact that the villain wasn't, not too interesting. But no, the show begins with a love-centered episode, like how it should be. Oh, and speaking of, I know people kind of love to hate Chloe, and yeah, I do too. Like, there are times where I think she is annoying and irredeemable since she's the bully. But the first time you see her in the show, she just walks up to Adam and just claims him as her own. She hugs and kisses him. I'm like, yes! I love sexually liberated characters. And I swear to God, they've shaped her face like one of those Bratz dolls for a reason. I don't know, it just feels like a statement. Also, before I forget, the lip syncing isn't always the best. They do succeed sometimes. The animation is great on Marinette, if nothing else. But sometimes it just seems a little off. But I can somewhat understand because this show is actually made in France, amongst others. I think there's other studios helping it. But the people behind it were French, and therefore it's also set in Paris. And sometimes they use real life locations, such as the Louvre, as they call it. Not sure if the inside is true to how it actually looks like, but I'll just assume it. Which is, of course, a breath of fresh air, because it naturally takes a lot of cues from American superheroes and even magical girl shows like Sailor Moon. But I think it combines them, and it does it really well. Like, sure, it's a superhero story, but first and foremost, it's a romantic comedy. And that's, I think, what makes the show so endearable to me. Like, all the stupid ship teasing, the super romantic moments. Even if I admit that they do eventually explain how she fell in love with Adrian. I'm not gonna give the details, but it's just pretty much a flip that switches like, do I believe this? Maybe not, but you know what, fine. Probably another reason why they saved the origin episodes for later. Like I said, it's up on Netflix, watch it. It's so much fun, but it's stupid. One of the best shows I've seen in a long time, and then again I've only seen like 2 recently, although both of them were really good. So renew your Netflix subscription, go watch it. Stay tuned for season 2. It's gonna be released on Netflix later. Thank you so much for listening. I'll see you later.